Hello and welcome to the Unpopular Investor. I'm here today to give you a little bit of information on how you can protect yourself, or at least give yourself a little bit more defense against the coronavirus and other flus and viruses and things like that. Life in general, really. There's three very simple things that I take to give myself a bit of protection. Now, CNN has reported that you can protect yourself with very, very easy to understand ways, which is wash your hands for 20 seconds, stay 1 meter away from another person. If you're feeling sick, cover your mouth and nose, etc. Also very interesting is there's a lot more information coming out that with masks are not really that helpful, because as soon as they get moist they lose their effectiveness, and you basically it's a false line of defense unless you're changing it all the time, which is very interesting because masks have been around for such a long time. Why didn't they work this out earlier? The actual thing is your body also has an immune system, and a lot of people are locked up in their houses with a limited amount of good food, probably drinking more than they should, or at least drinking more than what you would if you were trying to stay really, really healthy, and eating a lot of junk food. So your immune system doesn't just respond to social distancing and putting some alcohol on your hands. It also responds to getting nutrition. And getting good nutrition at this time is not going to be super easy, so I'm giving you three things that I'm doing every single day that basically anybody can do. I'm taking vitamin C 3 times a day. I take it at 8 a.m. I take it at midday, and I take it at 6 p.m. This one I buy, it's a chewable form. That way I can just chew it on an empty stomach if I haven't eaten yet. I'm taking 2 tablets. At 12 p.m. I also take a zinc tablet and vitamin D3. Just make sure that you're taking your vitamin D3 and your zinc. If you decide to follow any of this advice, make sure you take it with food, especially zinc. Zinc can make you feel a little nauseous, or any kind of tablet really can also make you feel a little nauseous when it just drops into your stomach. If you've got food in there first, it's a lot better protection. Anyway, Forbes has come out with this editor's pick from Stephen here. No mega doses of vitamin C will not cure coronavirus. Now, I'm not saying it will cure. I'm not saying anything like that. I just think it's an important part of helping your body to stay strong against infections and things like that. So you can look into this information, decide if you are happy to spend a few dollars on vitamin C or not. It's up to you. As you can see, I've highlighted, it says Twitter users explain very confidently that you need to take 12,000 milligrams of vitamin C and you'll get better. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's certainly a helpful thing. Your body's going through stress, and vitamin C is an antioxidant. Sometimes you need more than what you're just going to get from a glass of orange juice. In fact, I'll go into it a little bit further, but I would take as much as I'm taking every day. I'll take that even if there was no crisis. He also goes on to speak about other things such as the WHO, the World Health Organization, just launching trials of 4 promising existing drugs, which don't include vitamin C. Now the thing is, vitamin C doesn't cost anything. It's so cheap. Drugs are going to make someone very, very wealthy. Now he goes down and he says the WHO, the World Health Organization, has just launched trials of the 4 most promising existing drugs, which don't include vitamin C, I should add, which is very, very interesting. Clearly, vitamin C is not important and doesn't work. No, actually, it's cheap. It doesn't make anyone any money. There's always a conflict of interest when you're dealing with things like this. It's just not just some very generous person coming over and, oh yes, I'll take care of this crisis for you. Money and power are definitely intertwined in this situation. If they really wanted to do a trial like this, you know what they could do? They could come along and they could launch these 4 trials, make it completely transparent, and they could also do another one with vitamin C. They could do it on a big, big sample size, but we're unlikely to see that. Now, obviously there are some people that say maybe vitamin C can help you beat it. And these things will be suppressed. They will be pushed down, a lot harder to find by Google and search engines, etc. This one here talks about how they are testing the effects on 120 patients. Results have not been published. So 120 patients who have the virus, giving them daily infusions of 24 grams of vitamin C for 7 days. That's a huge amount of vitamin C, and that could probably be pretty damn effective. But results have not yet been published. And once again, if they are very favorable, all it takes is some money to come along and kind of suppress that down. Anyway, you can do your own research. I encourage it. This is the brand I buy. It's cheap. I get it from Woolies. You can get whatever you like. I personally prefer to get vitamin C that is chewable. That way you can just chew it, get straight into your system. $14 for 300 tablets. I take 6 a day. It works out to be 28 cents a day. If you're a family of 4, it's $1.12. Even if you took more, $1 a day or what have you, it's pretty reasonable. Why do I like vitamin C so much? Because it has quite a bit of research behind it. In particular, Linus Pauling. He did a huge amount of research into things. He died at 93. Linus Pauling is a legend, an absolute legend. If you want some more information on Linus, have a look at Wikipedia. Obviously, this is edited by different people, so you'll get a mixture of good and bad. Just a full disclosure though, he thought vitamin C could basically cure anything. Unfortunately, he died at the ripe old age of 93, but he died of prostate cancer. So, didn't really work. However, he still lived a very good life. Anyway, Linus Pauling, he took 3 grams of vitamin C every day, which is what I'm taking now. And look, he lived to be very old. He also managed to help a lot of people. He was awarded with 2 Nobel Prizes, Nobel Prize in Chemistry and Nobel Peace Prize. Both of these were unshared. Only person ever in history to receive that. He's a pretty smart guy. If you want further information, you can go here. He also has a foundation which you can have a look at. Dr. Yourself gives quite a bit of information here. Gives you kind of all the information that's going on with vitamin C. He's always been a researcher of vitamin C as well, so he's not just jumping on the bandwagon. And he's got a couple of books out if you want to have a read. If you want to see all the sources of where they come up to, see where all their knowledge comes from and all their research comes from, just right click on this and open it up. And this is like a massive slideshow. 120 slides. Still loading. But this will give you all the sources. It's technical. You're not necessarily going to understand it all. Now, I spoke about using vitamin C earlier. Well, I've got all my knowledge just over the years, but in particular, I got it through one of these books, Orthomolecular Medicine for Everyone. Just highlighted a couple of sections in this book. Basically, Dr. Kleiner, who was working around the same period as Dr. Pauling, I think he got interested in vitamin C first. He speaks about giving 10 grams, so 10,000 milligrams or more of vitamin C daily to several hundred patients for 3 to 15 years. 90% of these had never had a cold. The others needed additional ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. Goes on to say 1,000 milligrams is 45 to 63% effective, and 10,000 is 90. Yet the 100 milligrams is actually the recommended daily intake. And I actually had a look, and it's actually less than 100 milligrams for many people. So no thanks, I'll definitely be having more than that. Now, Dr. Kleiner also found vitamin C in high doses was very effective in treating pneumonia. It's all in this book here. You'll find a lot of information to back it up if you want to go down that route. Anyway, what's very interesting is people might say that, no, I've taken vitamin C. I took like a 500 milligrams and didn't really do anything. I took 1 tablet. I took it every day and I still was getting the sniffles or whatnot. And that's valid. The government's come out and they've said that you need less than 100. The government has come out and said that you only need 100 milligrams. And how they work out their recommended daily intakes is definitely a topic for another conversation. So you may have taken 500 milligrams and you think, oh, this is all I need. That's fine. I've got 500 milligrams. Cool. and then you start to feel unwell, and you think, oh, well, I'm already taking 500, which is more than 5 times the recommended daily intake, so, I shouldn't take any more. And that's fine, you can go down that path, of course. However, your body actually may be needing quite a bit more. A good analogy is here in the use of vitamin C article. And he says, if it takes 50 gallons of gas to drive from New York City to Albuquerque, you simply are not going to make it on 10 gallons. So once again, your body needs 35,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and you give it 7,000 milligrams. You think that's a lot, and it's still not recovering. Well, you know what? Take more. It goes on to talk about the actual daily doses. So daily doses of over 120,000 milligrams, which is 240 of those tablets, have been used with safety by medical doctors. Now, I wouldn't suggest that, and of course, if you're going to go anywhere near that, then certainly use a competent health professional that actually believes that vitamins are helpful and doesn't want to just give you a toxic drug. But, do a good amount of research. This is your body, it's your health, of course. Now, as I mentioned with the book, I have this book. I downloaded it in the Kindle format many years ago. Unfortunately, you can't get it anymore. So you may wish to see if you can get it somewhere else online, or paperback, or hardcover if you're interested. Alternatively, there is a book that is quite similar. This one here, a relation of Andrew's. So it could have quite a bit of information in it that's a little bit newer, a little bit easier to understand. May as well get yourself a free sample, have a read, and see what you think. So if you take too much vitamin C too quickly, you will need to go to the toilet for a number 2, and it'll be very, very liquidy. So don't take it too quickly. Break it down. Just follow the directions on this website here in particular. But yeah, if you do it how I do it, you should be completely fine. If you're sensitive initially, if your body's not absorbing it as fast as it needs to, then you can just have 500 milligrams, then a couple of hours later another 500, etc. The next vitamin I use is zinc. I will buy mine from iHerb normally, just because it's cheap and it's good. Lots of good reviews. It is out of stock, so you're going to have to get a different brand. I go for a 50 milligram size. If you like, by all means, support your local pharmacy or your local health shop if they're still open, or at the very least you may need to get some from them before you can do an online order, and hopefully it comes back into stock soon. More information on zinc, there's plenty of it. I mean, it's, for some reason, it really hasn't been as suppressed as vitamin C. The only thing really to know is that with zinc, you don't mega dose, you don't take more, you just take 50. Make sure you have plenty of food in your stomach, and you should be fine. If you feel any nausea, maybe reduce your size, have half a tablet, but you should be fine. The next thing I take is vitamin D, vitamin D3. And vitamin D3 is magical, absolutely magical. You do get some from the sun. It doesn't actually produce that much. Well, it all depends on your skin color. So if you're quite brown, quite tanned, then you will not actually produce that much. Whereas if you're quite white, you'll produce quite a bit more. Now, vitamin D is a vitamin which is basically, it's like a bit of an antidepressant. It just keeps your mood lifted. So when it's wintertime and you don't get much sunshine, much vitamin D, you'll notice that people will start to get a lot more sad and down, and you know how the feeling is. So right now everyone's in their house and similar feelings happening. Now obviously there's a crisis going on, so there's that factor, but just handling the biology of the body, your body just likely will need some vitamin D. Now I take 3 of these a day. This one here, just so you're aware, I don't use this brand, but this one has stock. This has gelatin. If you don't consume gelatin, if you're vegan, plant-based, then you may wish to look for a different brand. If you are not consuming gelatin, or if you have a personal preference, then I would suggest head into iHerb and just applying a filter. I also like Now Foods. They're very, very good. Doctor's Best is quite good as well. Let's say you don't consume any animal products. Click vegan here, and then just go through which ones are available, and you may wish to buy one of those. You need to as well. Vitacost I've bought from them in the past, but not recently, as iHerb was faster with their shipping. Now, with vitamin D, I got a lot of my information from this book, and this book, I will be upfront and transparent. It's very anecdotal, so there may be some science in here. It's been a while since I've gone through it, but it's people taking it, and the science is more telling you what the upper limits are, just so you're fully aware that you don't go over those. These are all the chapters in the book, and the book is fantastic. It's very, very, very good. And once again, I don't think it's a be-all and end-all of solving your health issues, but I do think it's very, very good, and it's available on Kindle. The book has a huge number of positive reviews. It's $3.21. It's a bargain, and at the very least, it may point you into areas. And if you don't think that some of the things are true, just start researching them. Look for unbiased research in the field. Obviously, remember once again, vitamin D is very, very cheap. It's going to go toe to toe with a drug company that's going to do the same thing. There are so many uses for vitamin D as referenced in this book. There are so many uses for vitamin D as you'll find in this book. It is well worth a bit of read for $3. Now they are the 3 that I take. All clear here. Remember about taking extra if need be. That's completely fine. Where I get mine from is iHerb, as I mentioned. I normally go through ShopBack just because you get a discount as well. So you may wish to use ShopBack. You basically sign up for an account, shop through them. It tracks a sale, and then you get some of the credit. In this case, 3.5% of whatever you spend back into your account. Anyway, I hope you found this video informative. All I'm trying to do is just tell you what I'm doing. I'm not a health professional. If you're going to use a health professional, get one that's not just trying to give you a drug. Make sure they are actually trying to make you and keep you well, and relies on nutrition and supplements and rest and care and exercise. More of a holistic approach, as well as using drugs when absolutely necessary. And do your own research. This is what I'm doing. I think it's very, very workable. It's certainly better than doing nothing. And at the very least, vitamin D, supplementing with that when you're going through a crisis and locked in your room, locked in your house, it's well worth it for the mental side. If you found this valuable, please like it, subscribe, and share it with others. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll have a read and I'll get back to you. Goodbye.